2a part flow. Please keep the heading over there. Complex numbers. Supposing if you are given x square plus 1 equal to 0, quadratic equation is given. You are asked to solve. So usually we will go with x square equal to minus 1. X square is positive, minus 1 is negative. So positive equal to negative is not possible. Therefore, we say that no real roots are possible. No real roots are possible. This is what we claim. After that, a mathematician by name Euler has tried it like this. X square equal to minus 1. Then the value of x is equal to plus or minus root over minus 1. For the square root of minus 1, he has kept a new name. This is treated as iota, symbolized as I. So, this value becomes x value is equal to plus or minus I. These roots are imaginary. These roots are imaginary. As and when he has invoked this x is equal to plus or minus I, root minus 1 equal to I, we call it as imaginary roots. So, complex numbers, until Euler has said that root over minus 1 is equal to iota, we used to have only real values, only real numbers. We used to have only real numbers. Only real numbers. But the entire number system has been changed with the invention of root over minus 1. I just mean to say complex numbers are connected with imaginary numbers and real numbers. It is the combination of real numbers and imaginary numbers. Okay, purely real numbers, purely imaginary numbers. This combination is nothing but complex number. A complex number in general is denoted by x plus iy or a plus ib, where x is real part, y is imaginary part. This combination is called a complex number. Well, following me? So, as far as the complex number, what is the value of I? As I told you, root minus 1. This I can also be written as 0 plus 1 into I. Here 0 is called real part, real part, and this one is called imaginary part of this complex number. Imaginary part of complex number. Well, suppose I want to get the value of root over minus 2. This I can write it as root over when I is equal to root minus 1. The value of I square is equal to minus 1. So, minus 2 can be written as 2 into minus 1, which can be rewritten as 2 times of I square. We can write it as I root 2. In complex form, we can write it as 0 plus I root 2, where real part is equal to 0, imaginary part is equal to root 2. Suppose you want to get the value of root over minus 3. This can be written as root over 3I square. This value is equal to root over 3 into minus 1. Sorry. This value can be directly written as I root 3. I root 3, which can be rewritten as 0 plus I root 3, where the real part is equal to 0, imaginary part is equal to root 3. This is how we express the complex numbers. Well, usually a complex number is denoted in different forms. For example, you have x plus iy. If you represent a complex number in the form of x plus iy, we call it as algebraic form. Algebraic form. The same value can also be rewritten as x comma y. This form is called coordinate form. Coordinate form. The same x plus iy can be multiplied with root over x square plus y square and divided with root over x square plus y square plus I times of y divided by root over x square plus y square. This way of expressing the given complex number is called, we can call it as mod amplitude form. Mod amplitude form of a complex number. You can also call it as polar form. You can also call it as trigonometric form. Trigonometric form. Where this root over x square plus y square is nothing but, let me symbolize it like this, you can clearly understand now. This is x-axis, my dear. This is y-axis. Here there is a point P whose coordinates are x comma y. This is point P. The distance from the point origin to P, let me call this complex number as z for a moment. Okay. OP is called distance from complex number z to origin. That is denoted by mod z. You can call it as modulus of z. Value of mod z is nothing but root over x square plus y square. As you all aware of the fact that when I draw a perpendicular from P onto x-axis, this is y coordinate and this is x coordinate. Let OP makes an angle theta with the positive direction of x-axis. From here, you can now claim that the value of tan theta is equal to y by x. This theta is equal to tan inverse of y by x. This theta is called argument of z. Argument of z. You can also call it as amplitude of z. So, in the above part, as far as our observation is concerned, cos theta is equal to, this OP distance is root over x square plus y square by using Pythagoras. Cos theta means adjacent by hypotenuse, that is x by root over x square plus y square. And sin theta is equal to y by root over x square plus y square. So, this root over x square plus y square can be symbolized as mod z. This mod z is also denoted by r. This is mod z into x by root over x square plus y square is nothing but cos theta plus I times of this y by root over x square plus y square is nothing but sin theta. Mod z is also symbolized as r, as I told you, that is r times of cos theta plus I sin theta. This r times of cos theta plus I sin theta, this form is called trigonometric form or polar form or mod amplitude form. Okay. The same complex number can also be, Euler has identified that cos theta plus I sin theta value is equal to e power I theta. So the same value can also be written as r e power I theta, where cos theta plus I sin theta is called e power I theta. This form is called exponential form. Exponential form. And the same value of complex number x plus I y, every complex number can be denoted as a vector. So, as far as our understanding is concerned now, a complex number can be expressible in 5 different ways. Number 1, algebraic form. Number 2, coordinate form. Number 3, mod amplitude form. Number 4, exponential form. Number 5, vector form. Every complex number is a vector. Even the direction will also be mentioned here because it is a vector. Z is equal to x plus I. To express a complex number in algebraic form, all algebra formulas are applicable for complex numbers. Because I am able to express it as x comma y, that is coordinate form, all coordinate formulas are applicable for complex numbers. And because it is in trigonometric form, all trigonometric formulae are connected with complex numbers. Because it is in exponential form, all exponential formulae are applicable with complex numbers. Because every complex number is denoted as a vector, all vector properties are applicable for complex numbers. Supposing if there is a complex number, let z is equal to 1 plus I root 3 be a complex number. This is a complex number. Well, now it is in the form of x plus iy. X plus iy. So, where x is equal to 1, y is equal to root 3. This 1 is called real part of the complex number z. Root 3 is called imaginary part of the complex number z. And what is mod z? Mod z means distance from origin to z x comma y. Distance between 0, 0, 0 comma 0 and x comma y, that is nothing but root over x square plus y square. This is known as modulus of z. This is known as modulus of z, that is equal to square root of x square plus y square. This 1 plus I root 3 is known as algebraic form of the complex number. Then what is its coordinate form? Can anybody in the class? You can also call it as x comma y, where x comma y is nothing but 1 comma root 3. This is known as order pair form or coordinate form of z. You can also call it as order pair form of complex number z, and you are given z is equal to 1 plus I root 3. I would like to convert this 1 plus I root 3 into mod amp form or polar form or trigonometric form, for which I need to multiply and divide with the mod z. What is the value of mod z here? Mod z is equal to under root x square plus y square, that is under root 1 square plus root 3 whole square, that is 1 plus 3 is 4, square root of 4 is 2. So multiplying with mod z and dividing with mod z, dividing with mod z. To convert it into polar form, mod z value is 2. This is 1 by 2 plus I root 3 by 2. Is there any kind of possibility that I can convert this 1 by 2 in terms of cos theta, root 3 by 2 in terms of sin theta? How would I write this? This value is 2 times of 1 by 2 is nothing but cos pi by 3 plus I into root 3 by 2 is nothing but sin pi by 3. This way of expressing the given complex number is called, this is called polar form. You can also call it as mod amplitude form. The term amplitude is this theta. Mod amplitude form, or you can also call it as mod amp form, polar form, or you can also call it as trigonometric form. Trigonometric form. 3. 1 plus I root 3 itself is algebraic form. One comma root 3 is called order pair form. I have converted this order pair or algebraic form into polar form or mod amplitude form or trigonometric form, that is 2 times of cos pi by 3 plus I sin pi by 3. Okay. So into 3 forms we have converted this. Noted? So z is equal to 1 plus I root 3 is its algebraic form. 1 comma root 3 is its order pair form. The same value I have written it as 2 times of 1 by 2 plus I root 3 by 2, which is denoted by 2 times of cos pi by 3 plus I sin pi by 3. This is called polar form. Polar form, you can also call it as trigonometric form. Trigonometric form, you can also call it as, what did I say? mod amplitude form, mod amp form. The main point is it is in the form of r into cos theta plus I sin theta form, which is nothing but polar form. So where r is equal to mod z, which is nothing but root over x square plus y square. Now, according to Euler, the value of cos theta plus I sin theta is e power I theta. So this value is equal to r e power I theta. So simultaneously z can also be rewritten as 2 times of e power I times of theta is pi by 3, e power I pi by 3. This way of expressing it is called exponential form. You can also call it as Euler form. Euler's form. Next, every complex number is a vector, as I told you. Let me draw coordinate axis, x-axis, y-axis, this is origin, and 1 comma root 3 is somewhere here, 1 comma root 3. Joining origin and the complex number z is a vector beginning from origin. So you can also represent this complex number as OZ bar, as we usually call OA bar, OB bar, OC bar. In that way, you can also call it as OZ bar. That is vector form. This is called vector form of the complex number. Okay. Even here there is magnitude as well as direction. Hence it is called vector. Every complex number is a vector. Got my point? What are the 5 different forms of complex numbers? Number 1, algebraic form. Number 2, order pair form. Number 3, polar form, which is also called trigonometric form, which is also called mod amplitude form. And number 4, exponential form, which is also called Euler's form. Number 5, vector form. So one single complex number can be expressible in 5 different ways. That is the reason why all algebraic formulae and all coordinate formulas and all trigonometric formulas, all exponential formulae and all vector properties are connected with complex numbers. So complex numbers is nothing but a wonderful tool so as to solve the problems of trigonometry, of algebra, of coordinate geometry, of exponential related problems and also vector related problems. Okay. So this complex number has got a wonderful correlation with all the remaining chapters. Okay, that we will try to understand one after the other slowly. Coordinate axis. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is origin. There is a complex number here, z, in the name of x comma y. That is point here. Let me join this. Okay, z is equal to x comma y. This point is denoted by p. This OP bar is equal to the line joining origin and the complex number zx comma y. Okay, OP bar is nothing but z, that is nothing but x plus iy. In terms of complex numbers, we can represent it like this. And the distance from OP, O to P, magnitude of OP bar is denoted by mod z, that is equal to root over x square plus y square. This distance OP is called mod z, which is equal to root over x square plus y square. This is the value of small r. We also symbolize it as small r. As you all aware that when you draw a perpendicular from the point P onto x-axis, this perpendicular distance is nothing but y coordinate, and this horizontal distance is nothing but x coordinate. Let OP ray, the ray OP is making an inclination theta with the positive direction of x-axis. That theta is called argument of z, of the complex number z. That same is also called as amplitude. We can also pronounce it as amplitude of the complex number z. This theta is called argument of z or amplitude of z. That theta is symbolized as arg z, arg of z. You can also symbolize it as amplitude of z, amp z. You can symbolize it like this. Actually, amplitude is nothing but principal value of the argument. Here, amplitude of z is nothing but principal value of this theta. Principal value of argument of z, that is theta. The amplitude of z always lie between this principal value always lie between minus pi to pi. Here equality, there is no equality here. So principal value of arg z, principal value of argument of z is denoted by amplitude of z. Amplitude of z always lie between minus pi to pi, this angle theta. Okay. Here tan theta is equal to y by x, where theta value is equal to tan inverse y by x. This theta is nothing but argument of z or amplitude of z. Arg z is equal to tan inverse of y by x. Please remember this. All of you take the coordinate axis. This is x positive, positive x axis, negative x axis, positive y axis, negative y axis. This is origin, everybody knows. Supposing if a point is given on x axis, point on x axis, let me take 1, 0. So if z is equal to 1, 0, how do you represent this? Z is equal to 1, 0. Algebraic form is 1 plus 0i, which is nothing but z is equal to 1. Z is equal to 1. Supposing if you are given a point on positive y axis, that means let me call it as 0, 1. If z is equal to 0, 1, we can represent it as 0 plus 1 into I. That implies z is equal to I. This is representing y axis, point on y axis. Z is equal to I. If at all the point lies on negative x axis, this, let me take it as minus 1, 0, etc. Then z is equal to minus 1, 0 can be denoted by minus 1 plus 0i, which is nothing but minus 1. And supposing if a point on negative y axis, that is 0, minus 1 is taken, z value, this can be written as 0 minus 1 into I. That means z value is equal to minus I. If a point lies on x-axis, it is purely real. Here z equal to 1. There is no imaginary here. Hence it is called purely real. Purely real. There is only imaginary and there is no real. Hence it is called purely imaginary. Purely imaginary. Here z is equal to -1 is purely real. It is purely real. Z is equal to -I. It is purely imaginary. It is purely imaginary. Usually, as and when you are given z is equal to x plus iy, if at all x is equal to 0, then z value is equal to iy is purely imaginary. It is purely imaginary. If at all y equal to 0, then the value of z is equal to x alone. This is called purely real. It is purely real. So, if x is equal to 0, that is real part equal to 0, it is called purely imaginary. If imaginary part is equal to 0, it is called purely real. Got it? So, you should write it as purely real. Suppose you are given z is equal to 2i. What do you say? It is purely imaginary. Supposing if you are given z is equal to -3. This is also purely real. Z is equal to -5i. Purely imaginary. The first one, z is equal to 3, is purely real and lies on. Where does it lies on? Where does it lie? Z is equal to 3 means 3, 0. Lies on positive x-axis. It lies on positive x-axis. And z is equal to 2i. This is nothing but 0, 2, right? And lies on positive y-axis. Next, z is equal to -3 is purely real and it lies on negative x-axis. Z is equal to -5i is purely imaginary and it lies on, yes please, negative y-axis. See my dear, this is positive x-axis as you told me, positive y-axis, negative x-axis, negative y-axis. If a point lies here, that is on positive x-axis, what is the angle between the line joining origin and the point and x-axis here? 0. If a point lies here, angle between x-axis and this point, this OP, suppose OP, yeah, OQ, let me call it as OR, let me call it as OS. Yes please. So what is argument of OP? Anybody in the class? 0. What is argument of OQ? What is argument of OR? Negative real axis 180. What is argument of OS? Argument of OS 3 pi by 2, right? This can also be rewritten as -90. You can also call it as -90. So always remember, in this case, argument of 3 is always equal to 0, positive real. Argument of purely imaginary argument of 2i pi by 2, argument of minus 3, argument of minus 3, that is on negative real axis, is pi, as I told you, and argument of minus 5i is nothing but minus pi by 2. So what I would like to convey here is argument of positive real is always 0, argument of negative real pi, argument of positive imaginary is always plus pi by 2, argument of negative imaginary is always minus pi by 2.